Oh, the arms are up.
Up until 5 minutes ago. What? The arms are up. I was actually getting into the story. I was just about to tell people that 5 minutes ago, it was complete darkness here. I had the phone hotspotted up onto the laptop. Thank God I charged the laptop. The electricity was gone, and I was just doing last minute prep for this show. Yes, we do prep this show. We do come up different points for the show. And I was waiting on you for a good 10 minutes. The head was down, and all of a sudden, your big dub accent, how are you? And I almost leapt up out of this chair. If I could put my fist through a screen, I'd go right through at you. With that said, it's Seán here along with Eric, and this is another episode of the Any Given Run Day podcast. And the producer, cue the intro music. Yeah, we had no intro music last week. We just went straight into it. We were getting a bit rusty, but getting back into it now. As you said, the intro music, we're right back into it. Eric, how are you getting on over there?
Good, not so bad. I logged on. I just finished up with a bit of work. Like, I've been up early and I logged on. You're just sitting in darkness. I could just see the glare off your face. And I was like, what the hell is he doing? Then I realized you had your headphones on and this was going to be really loud. So I just screamed at you and took the light from you. But yeah, I couldn't get my phone out quick enough to record it without you catching me. But I enjoyed that. That was a good giggle. But it was nice to see you are suffering a little bit more at home as well. I love seeing that. That's great.
Well, at the moment, I mean, people can't see in general because the whole country has just come down this massive fog. So it's very hard to see outside. The last week or so, it's been absolutely freezing as well. Like, I think since Thursday, it's just turned really cold, really foggy. And then today, coming home from work and all the lights off, I actually had a candlelit dinner by myself in the kitchen because that's the only way I could see. A bit of chicken and veg, candlelight dinner. I was like, this is the life.
At least you would have enjoyed
it. Anyway. What's that?
At least you would have enjoyed your own conversation. Anyway, that was good.
Yeah, I'm not close to talking to myself this stage. Or how are you getting a chance to go out anymore? I'm getting there.
Well, the poor me stories. I have poor me stories as well. Temperature's down to about 12 degrees. It's absolutely freezing. Yeah. See, now this is the thing. When I was coming over here, I was typically stupid and Irish. So I looked, sorry if I offended anyone, but we're idiots. So I looked at the average weather for December in Alabama, South Alabama, Florida. And I was like, average temperature is 16 to 20 degrees. At night gets down to like 8 to 10. I was like, and sometimes goes down to 0, whatever. And I was like, what? That's like a summer. I was like, this is going to be beautiful. T-shirts, shorts, 2 mini light jumpers, 1 very light running jacket. That's all I have. Little did I know I'd acclimatized to the 35 degree heat. And when it gets down to 12 degrees, it might as well be -5 at home. Absolutely freezing. I can't bear it. Oh my God, I am going to be in so much trouble when I get home. But yeah, it's...
we would kill for 12 degrees right now.
I know. But going from 35 to 12, it's some difference. I never thought I'd see myself like shivering at 12 degrees. I was like, this is... I'd be nearly at the beach in 12 degrees at home. So yeah, anyway, that's one life lesson. You acclimatize to somewhere, bring warm clothes for when it gets colder. So yeah, I have to go shopping and buy a couple of jumpers just to train in. I'm absolutely freezing.
My God, you muppet.
yeah. Well, anyway, look, I know.
Yes, actually, speaking of... Yeah, I have one more little poor me story that we're all going through right now. It was day 2 of the Advent Challenger last week, and I went out for a run. I forced myself up to a 4 or 5K run, and it was the first time this year my hands were literally frozen running. Like, because I always hold the phone running. I was like I actually, obviously not, it wasn't extreme. It was frostbite in the thumbs, but it was like just that really, really cold feeling. It was the first. I was in the middle of the day, first time it's happened to me. Obviously, it's not bad over there.
I don't miss that, and I am such a fair weather athlete. Like even at home, I hated winter. There was a reason why nothing happened on my Garmin from the middle of November until January. Yeah, even still, January was a question mark. But it's middle of the day here. It kind of warms up enough to get out for a run, but even at night, like it's just I just can't. I find it so hard, and I do admire anyone that gets out. And we tell people to get out and running, but it is my least favorite time of year to train. But I remember when I joined a triathlon club down in Nace. Anyway, Nace Triathlon Club. I went out for a run with someone who were really, really good runners, and one of them just kept saying, like, it was a blistering windy night and it was like raining sideways, almost sleet, and it was miserable. And he was like, you have to do the winter miles for the summer smiles. And I was like, you are dead right. And I've used that ever since.
I love that.
Like, just do it for the summer smiles. Still haven't got a six pack now, to be honest, but we're definitely, it definitely does help when the summer comes around. You're flying fit, you have a good routine, and you put in the hard work. Knowing it's in the bag is a good one. So it is the motivator, but I hate doing it. I absolutely hate doing it.
I think it's because, as well as that, because of most cases, there's no event. Obviously, this year there's no events, full stop. But like in December, January, even, you haven't really a race to plan that's going to happen in December and January for the most part. So I think it's a good idea. You can get the miles in, but slow it down. Like your heart rate is going to be up more anyway, just because your body's trying to keep itself warm. So it's naturally up. So if you stay aerobic and just, slow down the pace, and not to sound like, be all health and safety and stuff like that, but you're going to come across slippy roads and stuff and all the rest. You slow it down, keep it controlled, and just focus on getting the miles in rather than going for any particular PBs over the next month or two. And if you have that now, if you've got a particular goal right now that you want to hit before the end of 2020 and you're motivated, by all means, keep going. But for the vast majority of us, I just think if you know that you're going to be working harder to try and keep running in the cold, and the goal is just to get more miles in. And like you said, Dave, we may as well title this podcast episode "Winter Miles for Summer Smiles." I love that. I think it's just getting that little bit more. I got to find running gloves though.
Yeah, we say this every year, Sean. We say we need to get like gloves, we need to get running tops, leggings. Every winter comes around, I'm still going out in a pair of gas shorts, freezing, coming back with legs redder than the Niners jersey you wear. But like, it's like, and I do it every year. I'm just so stubborn. I just refuse to buy it. I'm going out in a Saw Doctors t-shirt and, just
just
getting after it, and then like trying to tell myself I'm hard as nails, but then complain about it the whole time. But like, I just need to get the proper gear so I can train during the winter. But yeah, like, or even I bought these cheap pair of running leggings. But by the time I get about 2 kilometers in, the arse of it would be down around the backs of my knees. Like, they're just not good enough. Big saggy things that would slide down and all after a few miles. I was like, oh my God.
The other thing I find with cold weather running is sometimes you're out there, before you go out, you have to plan for how cold it is. Like, if you think it's going to be like 5 degrees, then plan for it to be 10 degrees, because you do warm up, and sometimes you put on the big woolly jumper and 2-3 layers underneath because you feel like you're freezing, and then you're out there, you're too warm within 5-10 minutes, and you've got that extra layer too, and you're just going to crease yourself for however long that run's going to be.
Yeah, the way we kind of discover, we would do that, particularly when we were doing the kind of the army training, hiking up mountains, cold temperatures, all that, stay warm, get cool, all that kind of stuff, is layers. The best advice you can give anyone is don't go with the woolly jumper. Have a light. So the way I would do it as well is I'd have an under light running t-shirt. I'd maybe wear my long sleeve marathon top over that because it's light enough as well. That could do it. And then I'd add in the light jacket, the light high vis running jacket on top. Because even if I take that off, once I wrap it around my waist, people can still see me. So especially for the late night runs, that's just a little tip I have. And the hat, because if you find yourself then thoroughly overheating towards the end, I just take the hat off and I'll find the heart rate comes down and I cool down quite a lot. And then straight away when it's over. So they're just little tips I have, but I should buy better versions of what I have.
I always wear the hat. Yeah, I always wear the hat. I'm wearing a hat right now because I'm cold. I read here, doing my research on this for this episode of the podcast, that the other way they say you lose most of your heat through your head, 40-45%. Yeah. It's a myth. It's not true. It's not true. Yeah, you're more sensitive.
What the?
Yeah, I know, right? We're full of information. Every day's a school day. So you're more sensitive to temperature on your face, your chest. I think the third one's your hands. I could be wrong on that. I think the third one's your hands, but it's definitely your chest and your face. But seemingly it was some myth, there was some study done in the 1970s with US military, and they interpreted it wrong, and they said like 40-45% of the heat comes from your head, where it doesn't. So you don't lose all your heat from your head, but that doesn't mean don't wear a woolly hat.
Yeah, all right.
Because some of us are follically challenged, so we need to wear the hat out there.
I feel the cold in my head so much. I am so glad I have a job with a hat collection. It is amazing. The quicker I can put on my helmet to go flying, the better, because it's just, it's heaven. It's just so warm. I miss hair. I do miss hair. Anyone knows me know I miss my hair, but
you do.
When it comes to winter, my God, I miss it. I miss it terrible. And all these hairy folks going around, cold, isn't it? I was like, cold.
You know nothing about the cold.
Let me shave you, and then you can feel cold. But yeah. So anyway, no gripes against you guys.
I was born in the cold.
Yeah. So there's newborns coming out with more hair than me and you, Sean. I'm jealous.
Yeah, our day's done.
Hats are good, but not a big. I know we get the big woolly hats after marathon stuff. I love them for wearing around. I'd always wear my marathon hat just because I want everyone to know I ran a marathon. No, I'm only joking. They're just really comfortable hats. But the little beanies, real thin beanies, they're the best for getting going on the running. They're the ones I find the best for me. When we started training, when all this started for the Madrid marathon, we knew we were going to be running, speaking of climatizing, we knew we were going to be running in 24, 25 degree heat, which haven't done here. I don't think I'll ever do the Madrid marathon. But the hat, like when we were training, if you recall, I was wearing layers upon layers to try and elevate my heart rate to get used to the body being overheated while running and slowing it down. So depending on if you're looking to train your heart rate and you want to sweat a lot during the winter, which is hard to, like when I go out now for a run, I don't sweat, and I find that I'm still carrying a little bit extra water weight now, even though I'm still running the same miles. I just haven't got the heat factor. But be careful with it, because if you've been used to running in 0 degrees and then you load yourself up with woolly jumpers, just make sure you're well hydrated and stuff. But it is a good clear way. You will see if you keep yourself layered up when you go for the run, the heart rate will increase a hell of a lot quicker. And that makes the challenge harder for maintaining those lower heart rates, especially if you plan on going somewhere warmer to do a marathon. Even David Goggins, I think in one of his books, he was training for one of the, I think it was the one through Death Valley, one of the ultras through Death Valley or 100-mile race or whatever it was, Death 100 or whatever it was called.
That's called.
I forget the full name of it, and sorry if I misquoted it, but when he was training in the SEAL school down in San Diego, he used to run the 13 miles from his house, but he used to do it with full jumper, tracksuit bottoms, the whole lot. The reason being, he wasn't training in a hot enough place for where he was going to be running. So I was like, I could be David Goggins. Let's do it. In the Phoenix Park with 4 jumpers on and 3 hats. But running around like the Michelin Man. But it's definitely a method that can work for people. But yeah, it is hard to get motivated. And then that uncomfortable, itchy kind of feeling when you start to sweat, but it's still too cold to sweat. And it's just, it's not nice. I don't miss it at all. But it is the best little tips I've picked up from the last little while. And if anyone else knows of other tips, we would love to hear them. I do find you to stay hydrated, because like you say, you feel like you don't sweat too much, but you still need to get that water on board before, and sometimes even during the runs, if you're doing slightly longer runs than you're used to. To go back to what you said with the layers, like, not that I was doing it for time and stuff, but when I was doing building towards the marathon this year, I always go out, I always have an extra layer on me, like a hoodie or stuff like that, and always the hat on me as well. And I struggle a little bit more for it. But I always found, even the last couple of years, I've always done it. Sometimes without even thinking, I just go out with the extra hat and hoodie just to make myself feel a bit warm before going out. And then when it comes to marathon day, I'm in a t-shirt and short, and I always feel much better doing the marathon. I always feel like, just relaxed, and not all the extra layers are gone. I just feel like I can just keep going. Whereas like the week before, I've been a hoodie, when I get to kilometer 25, 26, I'm struggling to do anything more. Whereas when I have just a t-shirt and shorts, I'm good to go. I think this time of year as well, just to try and get yourself out there, you're gonna have to get a more warm up done in the house. I'm always preaching, doing my stuff for my lower back, activating my glutes and all the rest, and using the massage gun before it. Obviously, massage gun is not necessary, but I feel like it helps me. Even if it's placebo, it works for me. But even, just getting a little bit more at the end of that after your couple of squats, lunges, maybe getting a couple more jumping jacks, something like that, so you work up a little bit more of a sweat. Because if you're not going out there for a PB just to put miles in the legs, you can work up a little bit more sweat in the house. So when you do step outside, the cold doesn't hit you as hard, Yeah, the cold is almost like a little bit of a relief to be like, oh, thank God I'm out of it. Yeah. No, I totally get that. It's actually a method I've never tried. It's interesting enough. I definitely should, because that initial walk out of the house shivering and oh my God, just get me going to warm up. I suppose it makes sense that you nearly have to step outside to cool down and then get on their way.
Yeah, to me, it's like I have a cup of coffee. If I know it's coming up in half an hour, I have the cup of coffee, I let that kick in, I have one less excuse, and then I get the big warm up in. I'm like, oh, well, I'm warmed up now. I've got my arousal levels are up. It's like, right, let's go. And then I force myself out, especially on days you just don't want to go, which happens to all of us. So
it's good.
I find that definitely works.
I don't drink coffee or tea. I'm more of a hot chocolate man, but or fizzy.
That's not going to help you want to go out though.
No. But I'd have a hot.
You're not going to have a hot chocolate half hour before a run.
I've had pints in Chinese before a half marathon, Sean. I'm not recommending it to anyone listening. I'm just saying it can be done. But a coffee...
Not at 6 o'clock in the morning when you ran at 9 o'clock, though. You had it the night before.
I don't know. I just
had a good buzz. And you told too many people that night, I'm doing a half marathon in the morning. And you woke up in the morning and went, I'm going for a run because I told too many people in a drunken state last night I was going to do a half marathon.
Yeah.
That's just stubbornness.
I know. So, look, I still did it in a near PB time for me anyway, so... Yeah. But anyway,
when you throw back about the PB time, I know your PB time is better than my PB time. I can't really say much else on top of that.
Yeah, look, maybe you should try the Chinese and alcohol kind of approach, but take the worries away until about 10 kilometers in when you feel like death. But I wouldn't recommend that.
All the way.
Hold on, we're not recommending that. That is just bad life choices on my behalf. And I still continue to make some of them. But it's look, we're honest runners. We're the average Joes. We just like to get out there, and to be honest, the best way I get rid of a hangover is I go for a run. It mightn't be pretty, but I definitely cured afterwards. Maybe even get a nap in and we're squared away. But yeah, back to the cold weather. It was all the cold talking. I was thinking of cold beer, but it's only Monday, Sean. It's only Monday. Yeah, no, it is definitely a different one. Treadmill saved me as well. I don't know about, especially with lockdown and stuff and the limitations and where you can go and what you can't. For me, I'd be struggling as well without the gyms. And I know it's so difficult for everyone without gyms and training, but treadmill saved me in the winter. I just find it so hard when you see the rain coming down. You're like, oh, I have to go run 10 kilometers. Where at least doing on a treadmill, it's nice and indoors and there's no wind and.
Yeah.
You know, like you're running against the wind, you feel like you're going nowhere, you feel slow, you feel useless, you know. It's a mentality, and that's why I keep telling people, you know, use wind, don't worry about time when it's windy, worry about effort and keep the high effort, because it's actually a better training session than a still wind night, you know. So there's little things like that are so different with the winter training, but it's definitely been different for everyone this year with it, even with the gyms, treadmills, all that kind of stuff being closed out, and trying to motivate yourself to get out in the cold is good. But hopefully some little tips might help people that we've given out, hopefully.
100%. Stay away from the Chineses and the beers. You're going to do a half marathon. With the exception of that, though, I think there's a couple of different tips shown in there. And on that bombshell, do you have anything else to add to this week's episode of the podcast? This week's episode, last thing is, Sean, I felt old. This week. I never admit that I'm old. But no, you don't. I had a row with Facebook. What happened? I bought this iPad. Yeah. And I very nearly broke it off a wall. It was the closest thing to feeling. I almost rang someone younger to say, come here, how do you do this on Facebook? I don't know what it is. We were running the Advent Challenge. Yep. I tried to upload all the stuff. It just won't let me. I don't know what it is. It won't let me put up the photos, the videos. I have to text you because now that makes me feel worse. I have to text you. Like everything that I want done with the photo, the hashtags, the whole lot. I was like, Sean, can you please post this? Because I can't figure out how to post to the Facebook event. And I'm disgusted. I woke up early on day one to post up the video. And at 7 o'clock, it posted, went through the full bar and then said finishing. All the percentages came up and then all of a sudden, blank, nothing. And I was like, did that post come up? And then I woke up, Neve, check your phone. Check your phone. What are we looking at? And then it's like, it didn't post. It was like, so she didn't figure it, nothing post. She went back to sleep and then she didn't even remember the conversation. And then I posted another 3 times, went through this process, knocked off the Wi-Fi, went through the 4G to try to do it. It wouldn't work. And then she goes, I got a notification off you 12 minutes ago that the video got posted, some video or something on an event. Is that what you're doing? I'm like, well, you could have told me that 12 minutes ago when I refreshed the page. And eventually it popped up. But I already put up another post saying, here's the tag to it on YouTube. So I put YouTube up on it. Here's tag YouTube. And next day, the video wouldn't work. Tried everything, the video wouldn't work. But when I put a screenshot or a link, the link would work on an events page on Facebook. I don't know why videos are not working on it. You sent me a 4-second video.
Yeah.
For
I put nice little
picture with the lights and stuff.
Yeah, little ding.
Wouldn't come up on it.
I love this.
I had to screenshot it and then pull up your text, and then the thing eventually came up. So we have had technical issues with that.
I don't want to admit how long it took me to put the dingle jingles in and turn it into a video. equally felt old. But absolutely disgusted. I'm over here flying multi-million euro aircraft. Post on Facebook. I feel absolutely useless. So
we've hit that stage. Just can't catch up.
But anyway, to anyone who has been following, we apologise for any little delays in some of the events. What we might do is I might actually post what's coming up for the next week, so people can stay ahead of what's to come, and then we'll just remind people every day is probably what we're going to do. Just so everyone can stay in touch. Some people have been doing it. It's been great. Try and post on our public page. If you are listening in, post on the public page. A lot of people message me privately saying, I got out for my run today, and I tagged a few people who all got out, but other people want to see other people doing it. No one wants to feel like they're doing it alone. So make sure you put it up there for everyone to see. It's a fantastic thing, and make sure to include anyone you can, family, friends. Just get out there, be active. It's an important time. I know everyone went active straight to the bars as soon as lockdown finished. My Instagram was, which I can just about operate, was with people getting drunk in hotels and having beers. And I hope you're having a great time. But if you're feeling like a bit of exercise as well, make sure to drag everyone out. Keep an eye on the Advent Challenge.
And some days are easier than others. Sometimes we pull back with a bit of light run, walk, or a bit of meditation. Some are harder than the others. And just on that one, I got a message. You could probably guess who sent this one to me. He says, Doghead, finished day 1 and 2, effed. You could have made day 2, day 1, and eased it in on us. And I was like, cheers, Dad.
I wonder who that was.
My dad sent me that to have a day 2. He's like, cause I was like, just 10 reps, this to be grand. And he was like flying along doing the exercise. He's like, you could have just eased in on us, but no, it was like, get in, get done.
Not gonna lie, I did them as well here, and I nearly died. I absolutely
did you?
Died. I haven't. Because I'm doing my little bits here, my push-ups and sit-ups and all that. But I never did just a circuit, like a proper circuit. I haven't done it. I did it in the summer when I couldn't run as much. It was too hot. But I was actually in bits after. I was like, the next day I was like feeling my arse. I was like, ooh.
Yeah. I in fairness, because like the boot camps and stuff like that, like that kind of circuit, the different warm stuff, I would be used to doing those kind of exercises, even doing the last couple of weeks on the follow on workouts and stuff we've been posting up on the page. It's been that kind of thing. So that to me is that kind of fitness. I don't want to say quite good at, because even when you watch those videos, I'm kind of blowing up on 1 or 2 of them, and a minute I'm like, oh, I don't feel too great doing this. But like, I'd be somewhat okay. But it's mad how different fitness levels. Like you'd be much better than me in the endurance and the PBs, and I'd be okay at that. And then when it comes to like very fast, intense stuff, I'm screwed.
Yeah.
I hop on an assault bike and go all out for 10 seconds. I'm blown up. Every good 50, 60 seconds to recover. After 4 or 5 rounds, I'm damn near puking up all over the gym. It's just that level of intensity when you give absolutely 100% all out sprint. I'm in trouble with. But we try and have a balance in the Advent Challenge. No assault bike.
Absolutely. No assault bike. No really, really fast. Although intervals are going well for me now, actually.
Good.
While we're on, I'm up to now, I'm going to 11 by 400 now this week. But the rest period's coming down. So 50 seconds will be my rest this week. It was a minute last week. Had a bit of a win, so I kind of just let the timings go, but tried to stick around 125 for the 400 meters each time. So, and I'm finding at the start it was really difficult to maintain that through, but now the pace is always the same. So, but I'm not going to change the pace. I'm going to get to 12, and then I'm going to reduce the rest period down to maybe 30 seconds for each one, and then we'll see how we go. We might be close to a 5k PB. We'll see. Breaking 20 nearly killed me the last time, so we'll see.
Unbelievable. I was hitting 125, 130 over the summer, but it was a 2 minute. And sometimes, I'm not going to lie, I was like, I think it was it's 2 minutes go up with 30 seconds, where I knew full well it was 2.5 minutes. Cause like, I was thinking 1:30 and then like 3:30 to go again. And then like I go to 5 and I was like, 2-minute break. And I get to 7. I was like, no, I think it really is 7:30. And I needed that extra 30 seconds to go again on it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, like when you get to the
fair play for a minute. I'd be
very, very easy math when you hit the button and you see what time, like the elapsed time that you hit the button at. It's like, just add a minute to that. My God, it comes up quick. But it's going well. It is going well, and it's a great form of training. It's great because I have the track here as well. I have access to a track. No one near me. I get left alone, and although they all think I'm nuts over here, they're big into their disco muscles and they're working out. You don't see too many people out running. You definitely don't see too many doing intervals. Few of them come out after lifting about 400 kilos on the bars, big muscle dudes, and then they'll bluff a lap or two, and then they go home. And you just see me just doing these laps. Like one guy had to stop me afterwards. Like, how many did you do? He was absolutely amazed. I felt like a freak for the first time in my life. It was great.
You walked in, you think the same with them lifting in the bar.
Yeah, then I walked in with 2 kilo dumbbells. Oof, yeah.
Macho man.
Yes.
And on that note,
we'll leave it there.
You want to do the outro?
No, I've already embarrassed myself enough today with the Macho Man. I'll leave it to you. You've to embarrass yourself a bit more.
Right, from Seán and the Macho Man, pretty far from Randy Savage. That's it from us today. Hope you got a little bit out of that. This week's episode of the podcast we came to Clove Running. I know we went a little bit of rant after that, but listen, you may have got something out of it. That's it from the two of us. Thank you again for downloading this episode of the podcast. And once again, if you are doing the Advent Challenge, let us know how you're getting on each stage on the workout. Tag us on Instagram or whatever. We might see it. We're a bit not too great with technology, but we'll do our best to try and see and get back to you guys in that one. That's it for the two of us. Take care.
Bye.